Good morning. Happy Tuesday, March 23rd, 2021. This is Morning Joey. I'm your host, Joey Molinaro. Thanks for waking up with me and my happy boy. It's National Puppy Day, so happy National Puppy Day to you and your little pups out there. Hopefully you have a good one like mine. We'll get into more of that a little bit later. Got some big news. Got some really big news. I tweeted about it yesterday, but I'm going to start us off sharing the screen. We're going back to the share screen. Oh, yeah. You ready for this? New merch, baby. One more time. Yeah. It's not company time. It's tournament time. We've talked about it since last week. We talked about it yesterday. And now you have the chance to get it for you and your boss and your coworkers. That'd be a nice little surprise for them. It's not company time. It's tournament time. It's like Sonny Corleone and Godfather. It's not personal. It's business. You're taking it very, very personally, and it's business. It's not company time. It's tournament time. Not only is there a white T-shirt version, there's also a black T-shirt version. So you can get both. Man, simple, but a very important reminder, okay? So we dropped those yesterday. Got that. Link to that in the description. So not only do we have the typical Cup of Joey dad hat, mug, those links are in the description, but this as well as for my Pittsburgh folks, all right? My Pittsburgh folks, there we go. There we go. Here we go. Yeah. Look at that. Juju's back. Big Ben's back. We're hopping in the Corvette, taking this thing into 2021 for probably one last ride with Big Ben, maybe Juju, but they're together. Look at that. I mean, that is Big Ben and Juju. I mean, you got the blue hair, the terrible towel twirling. What a great job by our folks, man, at Barstool. In the Corvette itself, one last ride. How are you not getting that? You got to get it. So the link to that, it's not company time, it's tournament time, in the description below. Really, really excited about this new merchandise that we dropped yesterday. So I'm going to be pubbing that and continuing to pub that. From David, merch group at Barstool moves quick, huh? Wow. Yep, they do. Very, very lucky. They do. So they took care of that over the weekend and yesterday, and we're able to get it out. The shirts, I don't say it often. I kind of hate the phrase, but they're fire. They are. And you got to get yours. So go to the description, get yours, subscribe to the channel. We got a great show today. Just me and you again. Had a lot of fun yesterday. Got some good guests coming up later in this week. But we got biggest lies ever told. Your biggest lies ever told, as well as mine. My first one, and your guys's that you sent me as well. And then we have the worst days after. And I say that because we had we just finished one of the best 4-day stretches of the year. The first and second round of the NCAA tournament, where there's just game. Everywhere you look, there's game. We just finished that, and so now we're sitting here on Tuesday. What the hell do we do? Now we got to wait all the way till Saturday, and you feel kind of lost. You're looking around. You feel like there's an itch that needs to be scratched, that you can't just turn on a basketball game at noon and have yourself a day. So we're going to do worst day afters. It could be for anything. So I'm very excited to hear yours for that. You already sent me some on Twitter for the biggest lies ever told. But first, my boy Joey Burrow was in Indy yesterday. And I felt kind of badly because one of my great friends just so happened to be at Binkley's, one of my favorite spots up in Broad Ripple off of College at Kessler. He's up there at Binkley's, and I get a text from him, and he's like, yo, man, Joey B is at Binkley's. I'm thinking, okay, maybe Joey Brunk he's talking about, Indy guy, IU player. Like, he knows I'm buddies with Joey Brunk, so maybe it's him. So I'm like, Joey Brunk? He's like, no. He's like, you're telling me Joe Burrow is just at Binkley's on a Monday night. Sends me a picture, old Joey B, sitting at the bar, catty corner from him. Come to find out, as we saw last night, he was going to Hinkle Fieldhouse to watch Ohio with his pops. I couldn't believe it. Just flying in, coming in at Binkley's, Heisman Trophy winner, first overall pick, coming to watch Ohio. Not even LSU. I thought he maybe would have stayed for the Tigers last night. Tigers cost me. But he was watching the Bobcats instead because of his dad's Ohio ties. So randomly just at Binkley's. If you haven't been to Binkley's and you're in Indy, you need to go. It's one of my favorite spots. Great food. Great bar environment. Local. It's awesome. So check that out. College and Kessler. I think it's Kessler. Yeah. Anyways, let's get into triple shot before worst day afters and biggest lies ever told. First pump. Big news this morning. I woke up to it. I just saw it. Very, very exciting. Jay Snowden, the CEO of Penn National Gaming, which I guess technically would be my boss. I mean, like, I don't really know exactly how that works, but he's, he would be somebody that I would definitely answer to, obviously. CEO of Penn National Gaming said this morning, quote, we're going to be live in Indiana, hopefully by the end of April. We'll be live in New Jersey probably by the end of May, and then another slew of 3 or 4 states by the start of football season. That's big. That is huge news to wake up to on Tuesday morning. People have been asking me on this show. People have been asking me out and about. My buddy's been texting me, when's Sportsbook coming? When's Barstool coming here? I thought they might have been here for March Madness. When are they going to be here? And Jay Snowden comes out this morning, and it looks like he gave us the answer. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Don't want to make any promises. It's a long legislative, nightmare, I'm sure, to get everything approved and get going. But we're knocking on wood here. Barstool Sportsbook live in Indiana, end of April, just in time for the NBA playoffs, just in time for the month of May. So that'll be interesting to figure out how to try to gamble on, at least for me, to try to gamble on the 500. And, I'm sure there has to be some things that we'll put out there of, for time trials and for, Fast Friday, the different things like that. And for who gets the poll, who sits on the poll. Those are all things I'm just thinking of off the top of my head for May because, you're betting on racing, IndyCar racing. It's obviously a lot different than, betting on basketball or football or anything like that. But I'm sure there's going to be plenty of options and plenty of great things, hopefully, if they're here at the end of April. So that's the update from Jay Snowden himself, CEO of Penn National Gaming. We're going to be live in Indiana, hopefully, hopefully, by the end of April. So a little over a month away, and we can all download in Indiana, at least. If you're in Illinois, if you're in Michigan, if you're in Pennsylvania, you should already have downloaded the Barstool Sportsbook app. If you're not, I don't know what you're doing. But then in Indiana, we can have a big celebration, hopefully in about a month, where we can all have it and we can all use it and we can all use it responsibly, but hopefully win a lot of money. So big update there from Jay Snowden. Pump shot number 2 from John Rothstein. Huge college basketball journalist and guy who, he always tweets, Heath Ledger quote, and here we go. And, this is March, or he tweets like once a week or weekend. Some people have hobbies. I watch college basketball, John Rothstein. Goes on Pardon My Take a lot. He tweeted last night, quote, sources, as Indiana continues its search for a new basketball coach, one prevailing theme is that the Hoosiers are considering multiple candidates with ties to the program's rich basketball tradition. Okay, so you see that, you hear that, and your mind starts to get racing. Who would be somebody who's in the coaching realm right now, who has an understanding and ties to the history of Indiana basketball? Dane Fife from Michigan State, used to play at IU back in the day, was on their last Final Four team in 2002. Could be that. Are we still going to get the Steve Alford talks that come out? I don't even know where he is. I think he's in Nevada. Yeah, I think he's coaching Nevada right now. Could this finally be the time that Steve Alford comes back to Indiana and turns it around there? I saw my boy Riggs. He said Tom Coverdale. We talked about that last week. Give it to old Big Red. I tweeted out Tom Pritchard. Remember him? Biggest T-shirt of all time. Big Tom. Nah, I don't. Last time I checked, he's working for the Pacers. I don't know. But, I mean, you think in the coaching realm right now, like I said, Dane Fife, Steve Alford, Brad Stevens didn't play there. He didn't coach there, but he grew up in Indiana. There's many ties, obviously. So I just find it interesting, though, that Zach Kiper from The Athletic, IU grad and journalist for The Athletic, he came on last week, and we were talking about this after the news of Archie. And one of the things he took away from the postseason press conference after they fired Archie was they kind of said, we need to get away from that. Like, we need to stop looking in the past and stop looking in the past and then move on and find our future. In a week's time, that's changed. Now, are the boosters saying, nah, we don't agree with that? The boosters and the alumni are like, nah, we don't want to go get a Chris Beard or the Musselman guy from Arkansas, or Nate Oates from Alabama, or Porter Moser. I mean, got to feel pretty good about them going to the Elite Eight, right? Oregon State's hot. They're 12 seed. You think eventually it's got to run out. Nobody's playing better than Loyola Chicago right now. Apparently they're not into that. But then I'm just thinking, again, I feel like there's just limited options for somebody who's already in the coaching field right now, who has these ties and these understandings to IU. And maybe you can help me out. Maybe there's something I'm not thinking about. Isaiah Thomas. Fred, I live in Indianapolis, bro. Live in Indianapolis. Thad Matta. I mean, we got from Heath, Thad Matta. If he's healthy, maybe. From David, I heard Isaiah Thomas is a front runner. Whoa. Obviously an IU legend, Isaiah Thomas. Won the national championship in 81. I mean, I feel like I kind of even forgot that he went there. I mean, just because he's such a big name and he was such a legend even in the NBA and had such a successful career, that I kind of like, oh yeah, he did go to IU. Now, granted, it was like 40 fucking years ago. So, my dad was like 7 years old when Isaiah Thomas was winning there. So now we're getting arguments in the chat about Isaiah Thomas from Fred. Fred, Isaiah Thomas has been a shit show everywhere he has went. From Heath, no to Isaiah, no to Woody. That's what I said, Mike. Dane Fife, maybe. I mean, that is the most logical to me. Think about a guy who's been under the tutelage of Tom Izzo, who has been in Big Ten basketball, who's been kind of waiting in the wings for an opportunity like this. Like I said, was on the last Final Four team, gets all the Indiana stuff. I mean, that would be my first instinct after seeing what Rothstein said last night is, it'd be a guy like Dane Fife. But then does somebody like Dane Fife, even crazy as it is to say, does he even want the job? His first big head coaching gig, is back at the place where it's like, oh God, not only am I from here and I was on the last Final Four team, but now I come into this shit show dumpster fire of a program where I have to figure out how to make it to where we get back to the Final Four. I don't know. Isaiah Thomas, though, I had to do some more research on that. I've seen in the replies to Rothstein, just different people, sending pictures of Isaiah. So I don't know if that's a front-running thing from just fans and people on Twitter, or if there's actual reports in thoughts that might be something that happens. Yeah, from Mike. I don't even know if Moser would leave IU for this point, which is so sad. We're talking about Porter Moser, the head coach at Loyola Chicago. And again, you're right. I mean, you make a fair point. This dude went to the Final Four 2 years ago or 3 years ago. Right now, again, like I just said, feel like he's got a pretty solid shot to head back to the Elite Eight. Nobody's playing better than Loyola Chicago right now. And so got a good thing there. Sister Jean's rolling. Why leave Sister Jean? She'll put a fucking hex on you, dude. She'll smite you with God. With God. From Heath, again, Moser could be Archie 2.0. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing is you're thinking you're taking like a smaller school guy, you know, like a mid-major kind of guy who's shown a lot of success, and then can they translate it to a blue blood, a bigger program? I'm just ready. You know, I need some names. I feel like I have not seen any reliable sources, you know, besides Jeff Goodman's dumbass, who's, you know, again, I'm not an IU guy, but it's like, dude, you're not funny. I haven't seen anybody who's like, okay, here's some people that IU is talking to. Here's some people that they're eyeing or targeting or have reached out to. I haven't seen any of that. Nothing reliable in terms of that. The closest thing I saw was from Rothstein last night. It says it's important to have the understanding of the rich tradition of Indiana basketball. From H. Lewis, Isaiah, nah. Remember coaching the Pistons? Not good. Yeah. How does he relate to players now? You know, can he still do that? So that's what I need. I just need somebody to say, all right, they've reached out to the people of Dane Fife, and you know, even if it's Isaiah Thomas, I'm just like, I want some names. Damn it, give me some names. Yeah, he says Goodman hates IU. Yeah, he just thinks that it's like a funny troll job and that he's, you know, really snarky and clever on Twitter. And he coached the Pistons. Eesh. Coach the Pacers, right? Coach the Knicks. I remember that. I was young, David. Sorry. I don't know. So we'll be on IU watch. We had Juju watch last week, and now I think from now on it's just going to be IU watch in terms of the head coach. Oh, thanks, Jordan. It's all right. I mean, we're just talking about this right now. It's not going to be the whole show, but I appreciate that. Thanks, dude. Yeah, so we're going to be from Juju watch to IU watch, and that's what we're going to keep an eye on. So Rothstein says multiple candidates with ties to the program's rich basketball tradition. Just says candidates, no names. We'll keep an eye on it. Shot number 3. Pump shot number 3. National Puppy Day, like I said. Hey, happy National Puppy Day to you. My puppy's down here sleeping in this little corner that he likes to sleep in. He was being kind of a little crazy ass this morning. So, you know, waking Pops up, and I'm getting up earlier and earlier every single day. He knows that as soon as he starts whining a little bit, I'll give in and I'll get him. And but happy National Puppy Day. It's one of the few national days that I think everybody can really get behind. You know, there's and this isn't a joke. This is for real. There is a national day for every single day now. And National Puppy Day is just one of the few that, yeah, post some pictures. The more pictures, the better. Everybody has a puppy. Everybody wants to see one. So happy National Puppy Day. You know, it's not only National Puppy Day. March 23rd is National Near Miss Day, National Tamale Day, National Chip and Dip Day. So those are the other ones that, you know, it could be. Like yesterday, National Goof Off Day. All right. Tomorrow, National Chocolate Covered Raisin Day. Cool. Can't get behind that like you can get behind a National Puppy Day. I swear though, we do have like National Sibling Day probably. Like it's like once a quarter. Every 4 months we have a National Sibling Day. Just so everybody can post some pictures about their brother and sister that they don't even really like. Chip and Dip Day. What's the like classification on chip and dip? Because that doesn't like salsa and queso; those are separate from dip. We're talking about like Lay's or like the wavy Lay's and whatever the just straight up dip, not queso or salsa. Even though you're dipping the queso in the salsa, I would consider that. I think I would give that a go on my end. That's cool with me. Dip with chips is always like I want it. I think it's going to be better than it is. Like it's one of those things to me. I'm like Nutella or something, where you're like this. This should be a lot better. Like it looks really good. It sounds really good. It's really tempting. But then when you dip the chip, Seinfeld style, Costanza style, it's kind of like, huh, kind of weird. Definitely an older you get, the more you do it type of deal. Like barely any kids are just like, yeah, give me that dip with all that shit in it, man. All those veggies and like mayonnaise and shit. Yeah, give me that. It's only like your dad's and like your weird uncle that like always like accidentally gets some on his finger and then awkwardly is like, get out of here, Uncle Kevin. With your dip fingers and your big mouth munching on those chips. It's like, and then as you get older too, your taste buds develop or whatever. And like, me and Ben always would joke about, when you're a kid or even a teenager, like majority, you just want like cheese pizza, maybe pepperoni or something. But then like every decade that you go, you add on like 2 more toppings to your pizza. By the time you're 50, throwing anything on there. Yeah, I'll take some tamales, some jalapenos, some mushrooms. I don't know. There's some tater tots on there, some mayonnaise. Give me the full thing. Give me the hungry man pizza. Like, I'm just good with cheese or pepperoni. And then like the shaming that comes from that. Isn't that weird? Like, as you get older, everybody's just like, oh God, you're only a pepperoni guy? Oh, geez. You like just barbecue wings? Like spicy garlic tamale? Sorry? I don't I don't like the chips and the dip. I don't know. Happy National Puppy Day. Tomorrow though, Cheesecake Day. Watch out. Cheesecake Day tomorrow. That's big. Hey, morning, Ohio. Ohio, okay. Andrew, happy Puppy Day to you as well. From Heath, I like this. Dolson's keeping it close in his circle. All we really know is Brad turned IU down. Going back to IU, following up on that. Yeah. Katie, wavy lays with ranch dip for the win. See, but I mean, I love ranch, but put them on a chip? What? I'll never forget when I first found out that like people put ranch on. Well, that's true. People put ranch on pizza, and I was like, "What is wrong with you people? Ranch on pizza?" And now it's like a go-to. Like I have to have ranch. Not to get into pizza talk. Andrew, we're we're delving into office guy space here. Not to get into pizza talk, but are you a pineapple on pizza guy? I mean, So I don't like it if it's just. I mean, I'm fine with pretty much anything on pizza. Like I'm such a big pizza bitch that I'll do any of it. But if it's just pineapple on like cheese pizza, I'm like, what's the point? But if you get a Hawaiian pizza and it's got the little slices of ham, the little cinnamon drizzle, and the pineapple and all that, then I'm like, all right, now we're talking. This is good. This is good. Office guy, all about the National Blank Day daily. Yeah. He definitely has a calendar on his cubicle wall that has all the days, the national days. And so then every day it's like a small topic of conversation for him. David says onion dip is the king. I guess I can get into onion dip a little bit, but the ranch, Katie follows up, it's a different texture, the dip. Right. So it's not like a milky or like a liquidy ranch that you put on wings. It's kind of thicker. But then what else is in there? You know, it was like, I feel like anchovies and shit like that's always in there when you're talking about like a different kind of ranch dip that they make it thicker. So I don't know. I don't trust it. All right. So that's triple shot. Big news for Pitt National Gaming, Barstool Sportsbook app. Gonna be live in Indiana, hopefully by April. We're still trying to figure out we're still trying to figure out IU, search for the new head coach, and National Puppy Day. Today is a tough day because right after I finished up, producing the show at the end and getting everything up where I need to get it up, for the past 5 days, I've just been able to put on CBS or TNT or whatever and watch hoops and, have a good time. Can't do that today. We're following up. We're on this hangover of hoops here. So I said, all right, we got to talk about the worst day afters. Thinking about, whether it's in sports or social circles or holidays, whatever it is, the worst day afters, whatever the event is. All right. And I came up with 8 that I feel really, really strongly about. All right. And like on this show, we go from the bottom one to number 1. All right. So we'll start with number 8. Worst day afters, the day after a 3-day weekend. So immediately you think Memorial Day weekend, Labor Day weekend. Those are the 2 big ones that pop into my head. Maybe 4th of July. But the day after a 3-day weekend on that Tuesday, because you probably went really hard Saturday, Sunday, and then like a little bit of Monday, even a little bit of like a Monday fun day action. And that is a dark, dark day on that driving to work or logging into work on that Tuesday. I guess the only redeeming factor in why this one is so low is because even as bad as it feels to be like, 3-day weekend's over, you're like, it's already Tuesday. 1 day closer to the weekend. That's the only redeeming thing about that. And it's like, I think that some people would probably say like the day, you could say in this spot, the day after vacation, if you're gone for like a week. But I think by that time, you've gotten vacationed out of you, week, and like you're tired of traveling, like you're ready to be home, you're ready to get back in your routine. 3-day weekend, it's just the tease, right? You're just getting into vacation mode, and then it's taken away from you and just ripped right out underneath you. So it's a weird transition for your body and your mind that you have to get out of it very quickly, because on Saturday, you're like, I'm never going back to work. You're waking up on Saturday for 3-day weekend. Let's go. Yeah, not going to work ever again. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, Sunday night, it's like, fuck, maybe I can do something tomorrow for like brunch, but I got to start getting stuff together, man. And it comes quick. It comes real quick. So that's number 8. Number 7, I think this one's a little interesting. Let me know what you think. Number 7, the second day of school. Hear me out. First day of school, when you think of the long journey ahead, once you get that out of your mind, like the first day of school can be kind of exciting. It's a bullshit day. You're taking you're taking your pictures, like you're like getting used to your classes. It's the syllabus. Everybody is like looking good in their new clothes, and you get to break out your new school shoes, and you got a fresh cut, and people got tans still going on, and you've seen people that you haven't seen maybe for a little bit. That one chick, that you back in May when you went to summer break was like, and then you come back on the first day of school, and you're like, oh wow, I think I might ask her to homecoming. Is it too early to ask somebody to homecoming? That's all on the first day of school. It's like, it's fresh, it's new, it's exciting. But then the second day of school, you're like, oh, this is real now. Second day of school, first period, all of a sudden the teacher is like 2 chapters into the first lesson plan, and you're like taking notes, and it's over. You get the first math assignment assigned to you, and that's a really, really tough wall of reality that you're like, saddle up, boys and girls, saddle up, because we got a whole 180 days of this or whatever. Give me the Labor Day weekend, that first 3-day weekend, and then we go back to number 8. So that's number 7. Let's see what people are saying so far. Anybody say anything? Nobody say anything. It's fine. All right. Number 6, day after a bachelor party. Bachelorette party. Again, similar to like a 3-day weekend. You've been looking forward to it for so long, so much fun. You go hard. You're not thinking about it. You're just living in the moment, and then like you come back, and it just, your body completely shuts down, and your mind is still mush, and you're kind of have that weird like sick feeling in your stomach when you look forward to something for so long, and then it's done. So you have the combination of that plus physically, you just feel like shit after the bachelor party. Bad day after. Number 5, day after the Super Bowl. And it's not so much the day after the Super Bowl, it's like, for me, the fourth quarter of the Super Bowl into when I go to sleep and then like wake up the next morning, I'm like, damn, it's over. I can get over it pretty quickly. But that fourth quarter where you're like, shit, we're done. Especially in like a blowout game like it was this past year. The reality of it hitting you, and it's, okay, this is the last football we're getting until September. That's tough. That's real tough. Number 4, beer before liquor. The day after I'm a big believer in this, and people like to make fun of me, and they don't like to agree, and they like to tell me to, like sack up and shit like that. It still didn't work for me. If I go beer before liquor for a day, and I start the day and I'm having a few cold ones, and then all of a sudden like one of your friends shows up, and then they're like getting shots for people, or you're like switched to mixed drinks for some reason, it's the only booze that's there, dude. The next day is just absolute hell. You need the pickle power there. You need the pickle juice power, big time after beer before liquor the day after, because that nasty, just like acidic fucking, there's something growing in your stomach feeling, and the constant like state of like a sweat that you're in the next day after, it's absolutely miserable. You gotta do liquor before beer, man. Always get the base coat of liquor, and if you drink, and that I might have put that higher, honestly. It's been a while since I've had one of those days, but I just remember how awful those are. So that's why it's at number 4. Number 3, what brought up this list after the first rounds of March Madness, because it's such an extensive list. It's such an extensive weekend. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or in this case, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. 4 straight days of just nothing but basketball. You constantly have something to watch. You constantly have something to care about, to bet on, to get you through, to look forward to. And then on Tuesday, am I going to watch This Is Us tonight? I mean, tough transition there. But then you start looking at, okay, then you're like, oh, wow, we have the full weekend where it's just the weekend games, and now there's games during the day then, and you start making your weekend plans, and that gets you through. But today's going to be hard. Tomorrow is going to be hard probably too, because we're missing that void of basketball. Number 2, day after a wedding. And only the day after the wedding if it's your wedding or you're in the wedding party. Now you're saying, wow, is that a shot at your wife? Is that a shot at you didn't enjoy your wedding? No, complete opposite of that. It was the best day ever, was the best time ever. But that's why the day after sucks, because you have usually a year or so of buildup, excitement, the montage scene in a movie where like the girl is, going to dress shop with like her mom and her friends, and the dad's getting stressed about the money, and you're, filling out, you're looking at the RSVPs, and you're like looking at different food options that you want, and everybody's excited. And, it's like playing like going to the chapel and we're gonna get married. And it's for like a year, right? That montage scene. And that's all you're thinking about. It's literally all your discussions are outside of like work, and even sometimes in work. It's just like the wedding. And so when it's your wedding and then the day after and you're probably hungover and then everything is done, there's some real post-wedding blues there. There is. Especially if you don't like go on the honeymoon to wherever you're going like right after. Like I didn't do that. We waited like a month to kind of like, settle down and then get our grips, and then we went about a month later. But I was not expecting that. That shit is rough, man. Because you just so quickly go from like the best day ever with all of your favorite people in the world having so much fun all together that never happens, to then the next day everybody's like hungover and feeling like shit, and everybody's like departing and going back, to regular life. That sucks. That is really hard. The high to here to low to there. That's why it's number 2. And then number 1, big Christmas guy. You know me, day after Christmas, December 26th. If that's your birthday, sorry, just wipe it off the calendar. Like the most BS, like unproductive, just like what the hell is going on in the world day is December 26th. I mean, that's a low of low. And it's a low of low, especially as a kid, but then even as an adult. By the 27th, there's like a bowl game on that you want to watch, or, maybe it's like an NFL Sunday or whatever. You're like, all right, I'm finally like, now we're making New Year's plans. Plus that week in between Christmas and New Year's is pretty much fake anyway, so no big deal. But 26th, oof, the biggest hungover day without being hungover ever. December 26th, bad news. And again, I'm sorry if that's, your birthday or your anniversary or something, but that's not for me. That is not for me. Let's see, from the girl who talks sports. Second day of school sets in, is like, oh crap, we got to do this till June. Exactly. Yep. And like you have a teacher that you don't really like, and you have a syllabus that you're like, I got a project due next week already? What the hell's wrong with you? From Andrew, same man, beer before liquor brings you only to rocky waters. I hate random let's do shots guy. After buying 6-pack deep, dude, I have like 2 best friends, and that's exactly how they are. And it just never fails. I'm like, can we just keep a steady stream here? Why are we doing this? Or just reverse the order. If you want to do that beforehand, fine. Then we'll just, casually sip on beers and hang out the rest of the day. Everything will be golden. But no, always got to do that. From Andrew, getting married on Friday of Labor Day weekend to get those extra few days to come back down to earth. Nice, Andrew. I like that. See, I mean, that's good planning by you. And like, it's like a good reason for everybody to get together on Labor Day weekend, and they have it off. But I got married in September, and so it was a few weeks after Labor Day weekend. But I just took off that Monday and Tuesday anyways, because I knew, I was like, I do not want to be opening up presents and like hungover on Sunday, trying to watch the Steelers, and then all of a sudden being like, I have to go back to work and check my email the next day. No, hell no. From Garrett, what about the day after your birthday? Everyone's like, hey, happy birthday. And the next day, everyone's like, get off the couch, you lazy piece of shit. Yeah, I thought about putting – the birthday was on there at like 7 or 8 when I was originally making this list this morning. But then I was like, I don't know. I at least for me, as I've gotten older, it's like I've learned at least to live in the moment a little bit more. And so my birthday, I'm like, this is great, having a great day. But then the next day, I'm like, all right, I'm 27. Like, it's time to move on. It's no big deal, I always want to celebrate that day because I always hated the old dudes, when I was growing up, that were just like, eventually one day your birthday just becomes another day. And I was like, what is the point of that? That just sounds awful. I don't want to live like that. So I always make it a point to like really live in the moment and be appreciative and enjoy the birthday. But then the next day, I'm like, all right, I got some gift cards that I can go like use for food, not bad. But yeah, like the switch, the transition from your mom on your birthday of just like, happy birthday, my sweet angel boy. We love you so much. And then, like you said, like the next day, clean your shit up. Not your birthday anymore. You're right. From Will Law. I only went to one musical fest ever, but that first day back to reality after 3-4 full days, the whole deal, rough. Yeah, I've got a few buddies that are big music festival people, and I'm not a big music festival guy. I mean, if it's somebody that the unfortunate thing is, it's sad. The people that I really want to see live are dead. Tupac, Mac Miller. No, there's a few others I would, but like those are the two main ones. I'm like, oh, got to get there. So I would like to go. I like going to concerts and stuff when it's just like one night, but 3 or 4 days, that is too much, dude. That is really, really too much. And yeah, David, you and Will brought up the good points, or Garrett, sorry, about the birthday. And then like what's even worse is like when you get the belated birthday text, the day after, and so you're like kind of over it. You're getting to the point where you're making your way past the birthday. And then you get a text message and it's like, hey, happy belated. I hope it was a good one. And you're like, fuck, it was my birthday. That was fun. Thanks for reminding me. Surprised that we don't have more people that are in on the day after Christmas. Maybe it's just me. I'm just like a little, little kid bitch still who loves Christmas that much. I don't know. Cold coffee again. Love it. He's got the coldest coffee in the world. I love that air horn. So when my sister got married, quick side note, when my sister got married, she actually got married 2 weeks before me and my wife did. And so it was crazy, right? It was like a really wild time in our lives. But they like didn't really want to hire a DJ. They were like, what's the point? Like, we'll just put a playlist together on our computer and like hook it up and just play music. Like, big fucking deal. We don't need like a show. And so they're like, Joey, why don't you you kind of be the DJ? Like, you be in charge of like switching the songs and making sure that like if people aren't feeling this one, get on the next one. I was like, cool, yeah, sounds awesome. So we made a big playlist and everything, and I had to. I was like, okay, I'm using this moment. I'm not a DJ. I'll never be a DJ, but I love the air horn sound effect. And there's a few times that I hit it perfectly where I like faded down the song I was playing, and right in between, I was like into the next song, and it was hype. It was, top 5 hype moment for me. So, all right, let's get into biggest lies ever told. And I tweeted this last night because we were talking about it. I was with my father-in-law, and he was talking about just laying down, to try to trick the wife every now and then, when like they don't want you to go to sleep or it's too early, but sometimes you will lay down and it's the old, I'm just resting my eyes. Has there ever been a bigger lie than that? And that's why I tweeted. Never been a bigger lie than, quote, I'm just resting my eyes. Anytime you say that, you're zonked. Anytime you say that, the only thing that you want to do, and then you're probably on the verge of doing, is just passing out for at least 2 hours and then waking up and being like, what planet am I on? One of those weird naps where you're just like drunk, tired for some reason, even though you haven't even been drinking. So that's what I said. I said, no bigger lie than I'm just resting my eyes. We've all been guilty of it. I remember I used to do it as a kid, like my parents, I forget like why they wouldn't want me to go to sleep. Maybe just because it was like they knew then I'd be up later if I took a nap then or whatever. I remember pulling that out when I was a kid. I'm like, oh, I'm just resting my eyes a little bit. 3 seconds later, out. So I tweeted that, and I got some really good responses that really gave it a run for its money. From @Callan Grimm, quote, I'll fill up the gas tank tomorrow morning before work. Yeah, that's some bullshit you'll tell yourself to try to sleep better when you're you're too lazy and too tired to do it that night, but then you're definitely going to be even more tired the next morning to do it. Plus, every time you tell yourself that you're going to do that, you're without a doubt, either like slept in too late, hit the snooze too many times. So then you're already running late for work and you're like panicked because you're running late for work. But you're like, oh shit, I need to get gas. I told myself I'd do it. I knew I wasn't going to do it, but I need to do it. And there's just a big, huge, cluster and panic before work. That was a good one. Biggest lies ever told from Aiden K. Quote, I'm fine. End quote. Yeah, that's tough to argue with. And it's not just for ladies. It's not just for relationships. Think about even, when you're a kid or even right now when you if you're playing a sport, pickup game or something, and you fall or you twist your ankle or you fall and hit your knee and it hurts pretty damn badly, right? Inside you're screaming and you want to just cry, but on the outside you don't want to let people, know that you're hurting like that. I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm fine. It's like what we tell ourselves to just trick ourselves. But yeah, if you get it in a relationship, definitely not fine. Loud text, Jeff Lowe. What's up? 7:30. All right. Doing trivia tonight, so that'd be good. Yeah, from Aiden K, I'm fine. Biggest lies ever told from @RealJohnWalker. This is a niche one here, but I like it. Quote, that was my last piece, when referring to gum. Yeah, people are very protective over their gum. I always hated. I had a buddy in high school that would he was a notorious halfer. He would split it in half. I'm like, dude, what this isn't even enjoyable to have this little tiny thing of gum in my mouth now. Why are you giving me half? I'd rather just not have any. But the problem with that one is, John, is that, if you have the pack out, if you have the package of it out, then people are like, I literally just watched you pull from there. That's not your last piece. But people are protective over their gum. And it's, even if you do see where they have more, you got to have a really good relationship with that person to call them out on their bullshit. You know what I mean? From Wando GC, biggest lies ever told. This one made me laugh. Just thinking outside the box here. I like it, Wando. Rusty telling his dad, Clark, that he checked all the bulbs. One of my favorite movies ever, Christmas Vacation. Yep. We checked all of them, didn't we, Russ? Oh, yeah. No way they checked all of them. I like that a lot, Wando. That was really good. Look at the time. Got homework, got to feed the dog. I don't think they have a dog. Biggest lies ever told from @TheRodRodriguez. Quote, I have read the terms and conditions. Yeah, no, you didn't. And they know you didn't. And it's kind of scary to think about every now and then. I know South Park did that episode on there where they filled all that whole agreement with just shit that you would never agree to, but they know you're not going to read it, so you just signed away your life. But yeah, if you're with somebody and they take the time to read through all that, run away. Run away as fast as you can. From Dustin Eningenberg. Quote, I'm fine. I only had a couple of drinks. Yeah, everybody knows when you mix the I'm fine, you're not fine. Only had a couple of drinks means you really had about 10. So that's not fooling anybody. And yeah, you gotta have people that you can rely on. Don't drink and drive, kids. Don't do any of that. People were replying a lot about that. Oh, what about that lie to the cops? I'm like, I don't want to think about that or promote that. That's not good. From @Casey A. Marge, biggest lies ever told. Quote, I love all my kids the same. I can't say I have a favorite. That scares me. That scares me a lot. And not thinking about maybe my parents, I'm not their favorite, because I will say my parents have done a really, really good job of not making it, totally obvious. But I sit here and I think it's just human nature. You're going to have a closer connection with one of them, right? There's always, especially the more you have, there's going to be that one that just kind of falls by the wayside and you're like, yeah. Is that crazy that I like feel that way? Like like my dad is one of 6 kids. He's the oldest of 6. And they're all spread out by like 18 years. So for my grandparents, I'm like, look, grandma. And now my grandma has like 20 grandkids. You can't really, we're not all on the same level. And I think that's kind of all right. I don't know. I mean, I am like that with my pets, kind of. So then I'm like, I know they're just pets, but like, it's kind of the preface, the step before like becoming an actual parent. And I do love all my pets, but like, I got a closer relationship with Happy, obviously, and with Remy. It's scary, man. Because if you have like 3 and like you're like 2 of them, you have like a lot in common with and you're great, and then like 1 that like not really, and you're just like, oh fuck. I don't think that I'll be that kind of parent. I feel like a lot of parents aren't that way. Like you just love them anyways. Like they're your kid. Not saying I'm not gonna love my kids. Like obviously, if I'm lucky enough to have kids, I'll fucking love them. But that's where I'm kind of like maybe 2 is just fine. You know, you can spread that love out pretty equally. You get into like 4, 5, 6. It's like okay, I don't really want to go take that one to practice. there's just it's like with anything else, the more you have, there's more opportunity for the odds are just, it's just math. Like the odds are just greater for you to not have a closer relationship or like not really, bond with one like one or the other, the more you have. Just math. It's just science. And the last one here from Adam Graves, quote, I don't care, you pick. Yep. Now, this could be talking about food. It could be talking about a movie, a TV show. Excuse me. I think the common thing that you think about when you hear a quote, I don't care, you pick, is obviously food. Because without a doubt, once that comes out, then the next thing, once you say, all right, how about Wendy's? I can go for a Frosty. Actually, nah, I'm not really feeling the square burgers. But you said you just didn't care. Well, I don't care, but not for that. All right. Then don't say you don't care. And don't tell me to pick when I just picked. I like that with movies a lot too. You want to throw something on? I don't really care. Like, I mean, I'm just anything. Throw something on. I just want something to be on. All right. Throw on Lord of the Rings. Why are we watching Lord of the Rings? You just said they don't care. That's a big family thing, wife thing, partner thing, even your buddy. Like people. He hit the nail on the head. Adam did. He hit the nail on the head. Biggest lies ever told. I don't care. You pick. Yes, you do care. I know you don't want me to pick. So why you say it? Why say it? Oh man! All right, another show. What's up? Thanks, Katie. From Andrew, I'll go to the grocery store tonight. Never do. Order food automatically every single time. From Will, we should definitely catch up sometime when talking to someone you don't feel like talking to. Yeah, man, that whole sketch that me and Ben did is pretty much all biggest lies ever told. Hit me up. Don't ever talk to me. How's the job going? Don't give a shit about your job. Adam Connor, what's up? All right, let's see. Hey, reminder for the people who just showed up, and that's all right. I appreciate you being with me. People just showed up. New merch. You Steelers fan? One last ride. Here we go. That's a great looking shirt right there, man. It's a great looking shirt. Corvette. Realistic looking cartoons. Love it. Gotta have it. And then the other one that I've been talking about plenty on this show. It's a big theme. It's going to be a theme throughout the rest of this month. It's going to be a theme probably forever. And especially once you get this shirt, it's not company time, it's tournament time. Simple, but very important. You got the black version, you got the white version, whatever you're into. It's a simple shirt, simple phrase, clean, classy, cool. The 3 C's. 3 C's to live by. And this one, it's not company time, it's tournament time. Get it for you, get it for your boss, get it for your coworkers, as just a simple reminder that when the hoops are on during the day, I'm going to be watching hoops. All right? Good shit. The link to those are in the description. Subscribe for a daily show every morning, 9 to 10 a.m. Like these videos. Share them with a friend. You can come back and watch them later. Obviously, they live on, but I'm live every single morning, 9 to 10 a.m. So subscribe to the channel. We'll keep this thing growing. We'll keep having fun. I appreciate you waking up with me every single morning. No basketball today, so use this time to, go to the grocery with the missus or catch up on something that you don't want to do because you don't have the hoops to watch during the day. So have a great Tuesday. I'll talk to you tomorrow live at 9.